Well, a guy who's sort of friend of the show, who's, he's been on the show before.
Yeah.
He's actually commented on some of our Facebook posts and stuff.
Okay.
I can't say that you or I know him on a personal level, but he is well aware of us.
Okay.
Is former Scorpions drummer James Kottak.
Yeah.
There was a time there when James had to take a leave of absence from the band on their last tour.
Right.
Because he got busted big time over in the Arab Emirates.
Oops.
For being drunk.
Whoops.
Which they don't approve of that or tolerate that. And he got arrested. Remember that?
Kidding. Yeah, I remember.
And we commented on that on the show.
Yeah.
And he commented, say, dudes, I'm still in the band.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember.
Yeah. So we had posted the segment of the Classic Metal Show where we said that we were thinking that because of James's issues, that he was going to get the boot.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no, dudes, totally wrong. I'm still in Scorpions.
Yep.
I'm still in the band.
Yep.
But it wasn't long after that he was no longer in the band.
Then it was Mickey D.
Yeah. So we kind of called that.
Sure.
Even though James, I like James. I don't know the guy personally. We conversed with him a little bit live on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But, he seems like a cool enough guy.
Yeah. It's weird that you bring this up because, I got contacted last week by Billy McCarthy, who wants to come on the show.
Well, Billy lives local.
Okay.
And if he wants to come here in person, because Billy has been here in the CMS studio in person. Sure. And he was here to promote his last book release, The Devil's Shakespeare.
Right.
And it was fun.
Well, he wants to promote his new book. I'm not sure what the book is called. But he also wants to set the record straight from when Dexy Rex was on the show.
Okay.
Which, as people may or may not remember, was one of those insane interviews.
Yeah, it was an insane interview, but that was hooked up with our good friend Johnny Lightfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that. But remember, and the fans were pissing me off that night, so I kept asking questions. They were sick of him, and they kept doing the Z thing, and every time they did the Z thing, then I would ask another question. And then we ended up having him on for like over an hour.
Yeah, and this guy just rambled.
Yeah, he just went off, but Billy wants to come on and address the things that Desi said. And I said, hey, that's cool. But you know what? I'll reach out to him this week and see when he's got time to actually come in the studio and do it.
If he wants to come here in person,
yeah,
I would love to have him. If not, we'll do a phone or whatever.
Okay.
But if he wants to make the trip to the CMS studio and actually sit in, I'd be glad to have him.
Why don't I just forward you his phone number and have you call him? Because the first thing he's going to say is, well, how do I get there? And then it's going to be like, I'm going to have to put you in touch anyway. So why don't I just put you in touch? I'll just do that. And you can reach out and get it all set up.
Okay.
Because I have no reason not to. I think it'd be great. He was fun last time.
He was absolutely great. I enjoyed having Billy here in the studio. If you're not familiar with Billy McCarthy, he was with DeMalls.
Yeah.
And he was Billy Dior.
Yeah.
Drummer of DeMalls.
Yep.
And he was here in the studio probably 6 years ago.
Yeah. It was before I left.
Yeah. So it was 2009. Ugh, I hate to say
8 years ago. 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Holy shit. But he was here in the studio live and was hanging out with us and doing the show with us. And he got our good friend Carmen Appice.
Yeah.
Or not Carmine, but
Vinny
on the phone, and he had James Kottak on the phone, and he had Tommy Lee's sister, Athena.
And was it Robbie Krieger from The Doors?
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of people on the phone that night.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was fun, and I was just blown away that we got Robbie Krieger from The Doors.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a random thing, but Billy was very cool, and he was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed having him here. So, if he wanted to be a part of the show, I'd like to have him back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he does want to be. So I will send you the phone number and let you give him a call and make that work.
All right, excellent. All right, well, anyway, apparently James Kottak is no longer part of Scorpions.
Nope.
He was with them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And former King Diamond Motorhead drummer Mickey D is now the drummer.
He was in King Diamond?
Yeah, he was in King Diamond before he was in Motorhead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in King Diamond. He was in the Don Dokken band. See, everything comes back to Dokken.
Of course. I didn't know he was in King Diamond.
Yeah, look it up.
I'm looking. Yeah, he sure as shit was. I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in Halloween? Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And he was in Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, Mickey D's been around, man.
I did not realize he had been in so many different bands. I thought he'd just been in Motorhead and Dokken.
No.
That's all I knew.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Mickey D's been around a long time.
Right.
And he is currently the drummer for Scorpions.
Yeah.
James Kottak, who was in Scorpions forever and a day, he ran into some issues with substance abuse.
Right.
Mostly alcohol.
Right.
Former Scorpions drummer James Kottak said he was relieved. Not relieved from duty, but he was relieved and he was happy he got booted from the Scorpions. When his stint with the band ended. Explaining that he had finally had the time to focus on getting healthy and spending time with his family.
Okay.
Isn't it funny, regardless of what your what's the word I'm looking for, what your background is, that whether you're a politician or a businessman or a musician or actor or whatever it is that you do, your vocation, that whenever you run into problems, that the main thing of you taking time off is so you can spend time with your family.
And if it's not that, it's because I found Jesus.
More or less.
It's one of the two.
And it's just like, why is that the go-to every time?
Yeah, well, you got to, because you have to have something to blame it on to not like a douche. Dude, that's that. Look, and no, not shitting on James Kottak. Again, we don't know him real well, but he's been nice to us when we've met him. But let's be real. It's easier to say, yeah, I need to spend time with my family than it is to say, yeah, I was too fucked up to be in a rock band.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I mean, that's just...
It'll give me time to, get away from the businessman and kind of slow down and take stock of my life and spend time with my family.
The industry's changing, and it's not changing for the better. So what better time after all these years than for me to settle down, spend time with the family, maybe do some drumming with my kids. Yeah, that's what... And then 2 weeks from now, he'll be in a new band. That's the other thing that always comes out, too, is, I'm going to spend some time with my family, and we're going to go up to the mountains, and we're going to hike, and then 3 weeks later, it's like, hey, here's James Kottak, just signed a new deal with Frontiers for a project called Apathy Kottak.
Right.
That's how it always fucking goes.
Well, what was that drummer from Journey?
Oh, Dean Castronova.
Yeah, same thing. It's just like, dude, I fucked up. I really got into some heavy meth, and I got booted from Journey, and the next statement, I'm glad I took time away from Journey because it's given me time to spend time with my family.
Yeah, well, he spent time with his family and got good with Jesus.
Of course.
And thankfully, the other members of Revolution Saints stood by him.
Right.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, sure.
And again, not shitting on it, but just be real here. You found your family because you were a fucking meth head.
Yeah, that's all you had left.
Yeah, I mean, you're lucky your bitch didn't leave when you were in jail. So, yeah, you better take care of her. It's not a revelation. Of course you fucking stayed with her.
No, it's a Revolution Saint.
Yeah, well, apparently. It's a good record, though.
Yeah.
Record.
Sure.
Doug couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah, Doug's a great dude.
Yeah.
You never see that guy releasing statements about spending more time with his family.
You're wrong. He did in the interview that I talked to him.
Did he?
He absolutely did. He said that him and David were going different ways and he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Nice.
He absolutely said that.
I didn't know. I didn't get to listen to the interview, so I wasn't aware.
It's in the Doug Aldrich interview.
All right. That's one guy I like as far as a musician, because he's extremely friendly.
Oh, he's really nice. He's a cool dude, man. I like Doug a lot.
Yeah, I've met Doug on 2 or 3 occasions and interviewed him a couple of times, and every time the guy is just friendly as can be.
Yeah, because I think the question I asked him was, I asked him something about being highly regarded with Whitesnake, that Coverdale had a lot of good things to say about him for years, about their creative chemistry, and that it was like the best creative chemistry he'd had in a long time. And you remember how Coverdale used to just kind of say a lot of really nice stuff about Doug.
Of course.
And then Doug was out of the band, and I asked Doug, I said, did you worry about dropping out of the mainstream and not being able to get back there? That was what I asked him. He was like, yeah, at that point in my life, I just needed some time with the family, and I was tired of touring, and, I wanted to be home more with the kids. I mean, literally, that's the answer. The answer we're goofing on right now is the answer that Doug gave. Quite literally.
All right. Well, anyway.
I'll get that answer.
Sure. Well, in September 2016, Kottak was dismissed.
Oops.
From the legendary German hard rock band during his well-publicized battle with alcoholism, and was replaced by Motorhead drummer Mickey D.
Right.
Speaking to our new good friends, Talking Metal,
ooh,
Kottak stated that he had no regrets about his exit from Scorpions.
None.
To be perfectly honest, I've been pretty burnt out for the last 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years.
5 years of burnout.
Yeah. Oh. But I'm still grateful and thankful to be in Scorpions for 21 years.
Yeah. Well, that is a long time.
It's so wonderful, and I love the guys so much. We're still really good friends, and I'll be seeing them in early October here in L.A., and we're having dinner and the usual stuff.
And by the way, me and Herman Rarebell are starting a new band called Dead Scorpions.
Yeah, we're Scorpions Revisited.
Right. We're gonna do a bunch of Scorpions covers. It just seems like the right time.
Yeah, we're doing the Forgotten Scorpions catalog from the 70s, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be Scorpions, but it's gonna be all drums, no guitars. It's gonna be something that's never been tried before. We're going to call it Kottak Rarebell, because I was in the band longer than Herman the German was.
That is true.
But I'll let Herman sing, or at least bring the singers, because he's done 1 million of those shitty records with 18 singers on them, so he's ready. God. Something like that's coming, too.
Sure it is. So anyway.
Would you listen to the Herman Rarebell James Kottak record?
No.
Ugh. Good God.
So, anyway, James goes on to say that, he took some time off.
Yeah.
So I came back, and then there was some time off. He continued. I came home about the end of July. Mm-hmm. And the next batch of gigs were going to be in South America in September. And at that point, all the gear is getting shipped and all that stuff. And it was only about a handful of dates. Yeah, how big is South America?
Yeah, it's big, but I mean, they're only going to play like 5 shows at most.
So my stuff was there like $25,000-$30,000 worth. So I go, you know what? I don't want to be down there anyway. And then there was just another 6 or 8 gigs left for the year. So I was kind of like, we're going. Let Mickey finish it out. He's just like, fuck this. I'm not doing this.
Jesus. It's only $20,000-$30,000. When you're Kottak, you could just throw that away.
I could use the time home, and I got a tune-up, and everything was cool. But then when we talked, I think it was the end of October-ish, something like that. We were kind of like talking, and we were kind of like mutually agreeing that it just didn't make any sense for me to continue playing with the band.
Yeah, so let's see if I can reenact that discussion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, James, you fucked the band on the tour. So we had to bring in somebody else that didn't know the songs, and they just happened to be really good, so they learned the songs in like a week. So you're no longer in the band. You know what? Okay, because I've been tired of that shit anyway. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, we'll give you some severance pay if you just shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
Don't say anything bad about us.
Yeah.
And that's probably how it went.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that's probably true.
Yep.
And I think that we kind of talked about that in a lot of ways, that Scorpions being a international, well-known band, that they could not allow one member to sully their reputation.
No.
And they were just like, you know what? It's time to part company.
Yeah, they're one of those bands, other than people going crazy about their fucking artwork on their albums, on their early albums, really not a band that you hear a whole lot of anything about.
No.
They're just business-like.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they do their tours, they do their interviews, and they get the fuck off the map for 3-4 years, then they come back and do it again.
Well, you got to remember what I said, that even at 70 years old, whenever they do come around, whether they're radio friendly or not, they still sell out an arena.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see them playing the House of Blues.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time that I saw a member of the Scorpions, arrested for fucking meth or something.
No.
Never happened.
Mm-mm.
That's why this dude got arrested for anything. They're like, out.
Yeah. And that's what we said on the show when that happened.
Yeah.
And that's when he refuted us, And again, I like James just from what I know of him.
Yeah.
But he did refute us. He go, oh, dude, I'm still in the band.
Yeah, well, he hadn't quit yet.
No.
He was evaluating if he was burned out enough to quit, maybe. But he was keeping a good face. That's what I think was happening. Don't assume, Neely.
I'm not assuming.
He hadn't got the call yet. What was really going on was there was rehearsals going on that he wasn't aware of.
Right. And there was this guy, there was this other guy, his name was Mickey or something, taking his place.
Apparently somebody signed for those drums. Used to be in Motorhead.
Yeah. So, anyway, Scorpions continuing on.
Yeah.
And remember during the what was the one 3 years ago or several years ago?
What?
The album release.
For Scorpions?
Yeah.
What, Return to Forever was 2015, not that
No,
one?
even before that, just before that.
What was that one? Sting in the Tail?
Yeah, that was supposed to be their final tour.
Right.
And, we had them on the show during that time. And,
or the band.
And this was going to be the final tour, and they were going to call it a day. And, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they turned around and said, well, that was the manager's idea. He thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We never wanted to stop.
Yeah. No, never.
But I think they were capitalizing on sort of something that Kiss did, was the final farewell tour.
Yeah. Sure didn't work out that way, did it?
No. And then when I had Matthias on the show and I asked him about it, he goes, yeah, that was the manager's idea. He just thought that was a good idea to put that out there in the press, that this was the final thing, but we really had no intention of ever quitting.
Nah. We're just stringing you all along.
Right. Yeah, let's just hype that up a little bit.
Right.
So, anyway, Scorpion's still going strong aside from Klaus's vocal issues.
Yeah, they'll be back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's more of this final farewell tour to go.
Yeah, 10 years later.
Yeah. Too funny.
So for those who wanted our commentary for whatever that's worth, that's it.
There it is. Yeah. And our commentary is big deal.
Yeah. These old bands just never die.
No, they don't. Dude, I saw a bunch of pictures from the Doc and Dee Snider show. Was it last night?
Yeah, it was last night. They played in Minnesota last night. They played this Friday the 13th show.
Whatever the
it was beers,
beers,
brats, and rock brats and beer or something like that.
Whatever that was, I saw some pictures. Looked like Don was playing at noon. It was like completely sunny outside.
Yeah, it wasn't that early in the day. I think they went on like at 7:30.
At night? No way. No way. It was natural light outside. It had to be 5 o'clock because it gets dark at like 6:30, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's 6:30, almost 7.
And the pictures I saw were all in the daylight, and then the Dee Snider pictures were all in the dark. And I was like, "Wow, Don's playing awful early. Maybe there's a band in between."
Well, I don't know. I was texting with Don today, and he said that the show was really good. He said that the sound and everything was good.
Yeah.
And he said it was a little cold out, though. He said it was very chilly outside.
Right.
And they're in Jim Thorpe, PA, out near Wilkes-Barre tonight.
Oh, that's right. That's with the Kendall thing.
Yeah, Kendall is out at the show tonight. I hooked her up with after-show passes and all that.
What'd she decide on her tattoo?
I don't know. I didn't ask her, but I told her, if she's on her way home after the show and she wants to call and give us a show report,
sure,
please do. But yeah. I was back and forth on the text this morning and this afternoon with both Dawn and John.
Okay.
To make sure that she got hooked up and had after show and all that stuff.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, our fan Chris Reed was sending me a bunch of pictures and looked like a fun time. Dee Snider looked like he was bringing it.
Yeah.
Don looked like he was bringing it.
Well, I read some, people's commentary on it, and everybody said that both bands sounded great.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
So it was a good time. That's a tough schedule because they went from, obviously they went from L.A. to Minnesota over in St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Right.
Then they had to grab a flight, and I'm not sure where they flew into, but they had to go to the Poconos, which is Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area.
Right.
And then they're playing in Poughkeepsie, New York tomorrow.
Oof.
And then flying back home, either Sunday night or Monday morning.
Boy, that is an ugly schedule there.
So that's quite a distance between shows.
Yeah, so they're literally just not sleeping this weekend.
No. But, Kendall may or may not call us on her way home or after the show tonight. Let us know what happened.
Well, if she does, she does. You know. But I listened to her interview. It was pretty good.
Yeah, she interviewed Dawn Monday.
Yeah.
Live on her show. And it was a good thing that I recorded it because her recording equipment did not work.
Yeah, I didn't hear it live. Every time I tried to tune in on TuneIn, I couldn't get their stream.
Yeah, I got the stream, and I had no issue, and I thought, you know what, I just better hit the record on this thing.
Right.
I recorded it, and then the next day she said, yeah, thanks for hooking me up with Don, but something happened on my end, and I wasn't able to record it.
Yeah, and you were like, I got you.
I said, well, I recorded it, and here it is.
You're like, got you covered, babe.
That's almost exactly what I said. And I sent her over the recording, and I said, I see that she put it out there on the Spreaker.
Yeah, that's what I listened to it on, was the Spreaker. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good interview. Half hour. That's pretty good.
Yep. So yeah, she was in her glory tonight.
Well, cool.
Because she went to, she got hooked up and got in fine and everything, and so we'll see if she calls and lets us know what's happening.
Right. No, it'll be cool.
We're very influential that way.
That's right.
Just big time guys.
Yeah, we are. We're celebs.
Yeah, we're big time. All right, let's play a tune or two, and we'll come back.
All right.
I'm going to run downstairs and grab a drink.
Yeah, I think I need a purple drink.
I'm going to get some grape drink.
I think I need that, too.
And let me see what else can we play here from our cavalcade of unsigned bands.
All right.
Let me see. Let's play some... I'm going to play something called Hellish War.
Okay.
That's the name of a band, believe it or not. Hellish War.
Hellish War. Wow.
I think I'm going to play a tune just called Keep It Hellish.
All right.
Because that's what we do here on the show.
Sounds good.
All right, here's Hellish War with Keep It Hellish exclusively here
on your classic metal show.